So today making a video about how to add text in Illustrator, how to make a document that's a particular size, and how to paste an object and send something to the back, all right? So I'm gonna pop over here to Illustrator, and we wanna make a document. Now I already have one here, but we're gonna start from scratch making a new document. So what I'm gonna do is, we learned last time, we can go up to the top and do File, New, and anytime we do that, that's gonna have the shortcut for whatever it is that we're doing. So if there is a shortcut over here to the side, it'll say what it is. So I can just do Control-N and get the exact same thing to pop up. So the instructions on this one said I didn't want 8.5 by 11, I wanted 11 by 8.5. The difference of that is, it's the difference of landscape versus portrait. This is portrait, where there's a person and the long side is on the top, there's on the side, I mean, and then this is landscape. Okay, so it just flips it so that the longest dimension is on the top and bottom and not on the sides. Okay, this is set to inches, that's fine, and we're gonna name this name. Okay, so I've got a name for it. We're set in inches, 11 by 8.5, and we're in landscape mode. Hit create. All right, so now I'm going to type out my name. Okay, I'm just going to take my type tool over here, and we move this in case you can't see that. So I've got my type tool, click, and I'm going to type out Mr. Branham. That's fine. And so now once I have something typed out, I can go back with my selection tool and click the corners and drag it out and make it a different size. But anytime you do that, especially with text, you want to be careful that you don't do this. Okay, that kind of like stretches the text and makes it kind of hard to read. So when you pull something out, especially when you make it bigger or smaller, especially with text, hold down Shift as you do it, and that will make perfect, it'll constrain the proportions so that it does it the same way on both times. Now the next assignment, part of this assignment was to make a different font, not just the default font. So if I do right click, so I have my font selected, I also could do this in my character panel up here at the top. I have my character panel, come on, somewhere I have my character panel, there we go. So I can change my font here, but I prefer to do it this way. So I have that selected, right click, font, and I can choose any number of fonts, anything is fine. Stay away from Papyrus and Comic Sans, okay? So, but anything here, it's fine. We'll change it to Arial, just to be something that is not copyright infringement, okay? So there I have typed out text. I have changed the size of it, and I have changed the font. All right, now what I want to do is I want to create outlines on this text, okay? If you're using something for a vinyl cutter or anything like that, it's a good idea to have outlines on your text. Also, if I send this file to somebody else and they don't have this font on their computer, they're not going to be able to open that document without downloading that font, okay? So anytime you send something out to production, you want to create outlines on the text. It's a good idea to have a version of your file with outlines and a version without, all right? So, but for the purposes of today, we've got our object selected here, right click, create outlines, okay? And there is the shortcut for that, create outlines. So now that has turned this into objects. All of these different pieces, if I go into outline mode, you can see how this is all of this is just made up of anchor points. All right, so all of these objects is now in vector form. It is no longer a font. The good thing is now I can send it off to somebody. The bad thing is if I realize, oh no, I misspelled something, then I can no longer go in and edit this as I would have been able to if it was still text. So that's why it's a good idea to keep a version of it that if you have not done create outlines in case you need to make those changes later on down the road. Okay. So the last part of this assignment was to put a picture in this and send it to the back. So I'm going to go over to Google and pull up the image that I have already looked for. And I tried to find something that is public domain. So hopefully this is. Please don't sue me. When you're bringing a picture off the internet, you want to make sure that you're not getting from here. Okay, this image is a smaller preview image. So you click on that, and that will give you this larger image. Right click, copy image, go back over to Illustrator. And then if you try to paste it and I go right click paste, paste is not a choice here. So you either have to go to edit paste, or there again is the shortcut, Control V. Control V. All right, so I'm going to scale this picture up, holding down Shift as I do it. Hopefully my resolution doesn't get terrible. Okay, it did, but we're just trying to do, that's not what we're trying to do right now. So that's great, except I cannot see my name. So I want this to be behind this object. So we've shown you how to type something, how to create outlines on the text, how to bring in a picture from the internet, and then how to send this to the back. So if I have this object selected, I can right click and go to arrange, and then I have an option to either send backward, which will go back one spot, or send all the way to the back. And that's usually what I end up doing. All right, so There it is in all its glory. Here's my design. And so to save this, we can just go to File, Save As, or Save. Okay, I'm going to go to Save As. All right, and then you have your places where you can save stuff, and you can choose to change your file name and all that stuff. You've got a lot of options there. All right, so that is how you do this assignment. So thanks.